Thanks for coming. I'm Deanne Meyer, and along with my colleagues Zaira Joaquin Morales, Patricia Price, and Denise Molina, we'd like to share our recent findings from our manure management practices research. Why does anybody care? Well, very simply, the information from this project will be used for emission inventory analysis. It takes good data for animal populations, and it also takes good information on manure management systems. After all, we don't expect as much methane from the manure from a cow that's left in the open lot as we do from a cow whose manure is collected through a flush system. We obtained data sets from the San Joaquin Air Pollution Control District, many of the regional water quality control boards, the Department of Food and Agriculture, and the State Water Resources Control Board. We verified locations and characterized structures on dairy facilities, and then we went through Google Earth and did visual validation. There were some inconsistencies in these data sets, as there is no one unique field that is throughout all data set for individual dairies. For some facilities, then, we did drive-by verifications to identify information. And at last, we had a final list to do our analysis. As we look at the regional water quality control boards throughout California, in the graphic on the left side of the screen, they're numbered from 1 through 9. The Central Valley region is Region 5, and that's where we have nearly 1.6 million dairy cows, 91% of the state's dairy herd. We have 4.3% of the state's dairy herd down in the Santa Ana region, which consists of both Chino and San Jacinto watersheds. On the North Coast, there are about 3% of the dairy cows. The remaining herds and animals reside in the Lahontan region, Imperial region, and the San Diego region. We took the data we had for the dairy herds and we divided those herds into 250 cow increments. So in this graph, you can see the distribution of those herds from 250 cows to more than 6,000 cows within a herd. So we have a lot higher incidence of smaller facilities compared to larger facilities. We then look at the information from geographic perspective, and in the blue and lavender colors you see the distribution of herds on the North Coast and the San Francisco Bay Board. The bright yellow represents dairies in the Chino and San Jacinto watersheds, or Region Board 8. When we evaluate the animals by type of housing, 74% of the herds live in freestall facilities and 26% are in non-freestall facilities. The 74% that are freestall represent 21% of the animals, and 28% of the animals are in non-freestall herds. Specifically looking at Central Valley dairies, we have herd sizes up to 1,035 cows that represent 51% of the herds and only 20% of the animals. About 60% of the cows in the Central Valley are on herds between 1,035 and 4,120 milking and dry cows, with the remaining 5% of the herds containing 20% of the cattle. The other big question we had was what kind of separation systems work on these herds. And for our dairies in the Central Valley, almost 26% have absolutely no separation systems present, and about 20% use both gravity separation systems and mechanical separation systems. Those that have gravity systems only and no mechanical separation are about 38% of the herds, and those that have mechanical separation only and no gravity separation are 16% of the herd. So mechanical separators are present on a little over 36% of the herds, and gravity separation systems are present on 58% of dairies. To summarize our base findings, this is the first statewide analysis of activity data. 51% of Central Valley herds contain 20% of the cows, and these herds have less than 1,035 cattle on them. Roughly 60% of the cows are on dairies with 1,035 to 4,120 cows, and 72% of the cows are on dairies with freestalls. 25.7% of herds in the valley have no separation process at all, and 20% of herds use both gravity and mechanical separation. This information is important in order to fine-tune the statewide emission inventory calculation. We hope you enjoyed the information we gained from our 2 years of torturing data. Please feel free to drop us a note if you have any questions. Enjoy the summit and have a nice day.